provide the network for you to learn from each other, but ultimately, you are the ones doing the work. So I want to thank you all for that. And I'm sure that will also come up in the comments from our adult learners who appreciate some of the support that they've been provided. So with that, I really want to kind of launch into a little bit of a video to transition from, okay, so it was working and now it's not working. I'm going to do this the old fashioned way. No clicker. So we're going to watch a little video here about Slim's experience because I think it really helps us get in the mood and think about where folks are coming from when they're adult learners.
1, 2, 3. Education is the key to life.
You get some volume.
If I can do it, I know anybody can do it. If I could share my story with anybody that's watching, and if you think you can't do it, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. I'm Alpha Slim Willock, and I got my master's right here at Pace University. I chose Pace University because it's right here in the heart of the city. I'm in the Seidenberg program, so most of my courses were online, and the online courses or the remote classes that I've taken were beneficial to me because I am a widow dad of 6 kids. I wanted to go back to school.
Can't hear it. All right.
Pay for your school. You know, you just really can't just bypass that. I got my undergrad at Pace. Got my master's last week, right here at Pace. And if all right, okay. 1, 2, 3. Education is the key to life.
All right.
If
We'll just
I
leave
could
him
do
playing in silently in the background.
I could just,
Yeah, you just want to narrate it. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, narrate.
if I could
Studying.
share my
That's
story,
studying.
Studying.
Yeah, I've been there too, in the bed studying. That happens. Yeah, exactly. There's your lovely family.
I guess, yeah.
I need to turn the volume up.
Just turn the volume.
It's not going up. It's like set as high as it can
I'm
go.
Alpha Slim Willock,
Oh, there we
and
go.
I got my
Here.
master's right here at
Okay.
Pace University. University
I think it's
because it's right here in the heart of the city. I'm in the Seidenberg program, so most of my courses were online, and the online courses or the remote classes that I've taken were beneficial to me because I am a widow dad of 6 kids. I wanted to go back to school because I wanted to better myself. I'm working at Verizon, and they pay for your school. You know, you just really can't just bypass that. I got my undergrad at Pace, got my master's last week, right here at Pace, and everybody asks, yo, what's next? Yo, you know what? The world is next. After my wife passed away, after having birth, it was one of them things to where, like, I would honestly tell you, I didn't know what I was gonna do. Dawn was a beautiful person inside and out. When I walked across that stage, I actually thought about not only doing it for my kids and being a role model, but I did it for her as well. You know, the kids could have just definitely taken it a different way. They could have went left, you know, and they could have had their excuse. Well, my mother's not here. But we kind of like flipped it a little bit and we just like, oh, my mother's not here. So this is what we're gonna do to honor her. And that's what we're doing. We're honoring. Graduating was like a healing therapy for me as well. Thank you, Kale. Thank you, Nectel. Thank you, Pace University, Verizon, CWA, because it was definitely a joint effort. They made a way, an opportunity for a person like me. And that way could be anybody else. As long as you believe in yourself, you can do it. I know you can.
So I'm going to start with asking a few questions in some different topic areas. We're going to really kind of let folks jump in, make this a little conversational. So first thing I wanted to ask was about credit for prior learning, since we talked about that. And why don't we just start by how you benefited from it? Who wants to go first? Maybe share that.
I could say something.
Yeah.
Credit for prior learning was very instrumental for me. After being away from college for 28 years, I started back in 2020, the fall of 2020. I was a freshman on academic probation. And I just so happened to find out about it in 2017 while volunteering at the University of Memphis for my son, with my son for the university. And when I started in 2020 as a freshman, when I started in the class of doing CPL, it allowed me to advance. I received 30 credits and I was able to graduate in 2 years with a lot of hard studying and going to school during the summer, but I graduated in 2 years in the spring of 2022. So credit for prior learning was really, really instrumental in me. When I got awarded those 30 credits, it really, really motivated me to want to do better, to be better. I had to be the best. I had to make the best grades. And if it had not been for that as that extreme motivator, I don't even know if I would have graduated when I did. But it really was the catalyst that really put me in front and made me graduate magna cum laude. And to piggyback right off of what my sister just stated, CPL was the reason why I went back to school. I was watching my sister doing this video a semester before the semester she was going to be graduating. And during the video, we find out, I realized, wow, the CPL is something that can advance me. Oh, sign me up. So from that moment, I went enrolled in class to start that January of 2022. Needless to say, it took me 2 years because it catapulted me from the back of the line to the front of the line. I graduated just past May, magna cum laude as well. That's the thing. That's the thing about CPL. It takes you, it thrusts you from feeling like you're a nobody to hold up. I'm a somebody. I can do this. So I'm not going to take this too much of your time, but I'm telling you, that's the thing that empowered me as an adult learner, and I'm sure it's empowering other people who takes the time to put it on their campus and then to market it so they can know that it's there. It's the best thing ever.
Just to add on to what the ladies have said, for me at McDonald's, when I walked into wanting to go back to school, all the leadership classes that I had taken via McDonald's, through McDonald's, all the leadership classes, I was a sophomore. So I didn't start off as a freshman. So in about 1.5 to 2 years later, I obtained that bachelorette, and 1.5 years later, I obtained the master's. So online, like Slim, helped because I can go to school at 2:00 in the morning if I wanted to. I didn't have to go to a brick and mortar. So it was easily accessible, which I know it's much more easily accessible for other individuals to complete and finish. get their education. I currently have general managers that work for McDonald's. They already work 45, 50 hours a week, but they're inspired to finish. I have a supervisor who's doing accounting and finance. So what is that going to do for them? It's going to get them into that next promotable level. It's going to be able to support their families. How about generational wealth? It's going to help them, their children, their grandchildren, because that's what it's done for me and my 14 grandchildren. So, like this panel, if we can do it, everybody else can do it too.
Great. Tell me a little bit about how you found out about those credit. I know you already shared your story there about how you found out from your sister, right? How about the rest of you? Did you find out about credit for prior learning? How did you find out about it?
Let me take it.
Yeah, go ahead.
How I found out about it was a lady right there in the front, Nancy Hale. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you also, Beth, for allowing us to be here today. But I could tell you like this, when I was able to use my credits to actually attain those credits to go towards my degree, it was probably the best thing to have ever happened to me, because it gives you a little jump start, and then it gives you that little push and that motivation to know that you can make it, that you can graduate. And I'm just so grateful for Kale, Maxtel, Pace University, the joint effort, CWA, for allowing me to have this opportunity to actually graduate and get my degree and be a role model to others.
Yeah, it's great. So that means all of you count, right? In this process, right? That's where they found out about it. Were you going to say something?
Yes.
For me, I just found out when I started my EGED classes. After I passed 3 classes, and my student specialist, her name is Susie, and she came to me and Dawn, you can enroll in ACE program. That is 2 years, and you're gonna have 25 credit. And at that time, I had no idea what does the credit means, and yeah, and then and I just look at her and, hi, Susie, do you think I can really do it? And Dawn, if you have a dream, and as long as if you're hardworking like you right now, you can do it. And then I had no idea at that time, but I enrolled it. And my teacher, all of my instructors, they are really, really nice, even if I have no idea what I'm doing. And they are, actually, in the classroom, they do not allow to use a cell phone, but I request, may I use my cell phone? For what? To look at my dictionary. When you explain it, I have no idea what you are talking about. Sometimes I'm so confusing. And I am the only one who can use a cell phone to look at the meaning, the dictionary. And I remember my teacher told me that, okay, tomorrow, write about your story. I want to write it down for 2 pages. I have no idea what to write, but I can write in Burmese. So I write it down in Burmese in 2 pages, but when I started to translate, I can find some words in English. And I went to the office of my student specialist, and Susie, I'm really sorry. I think I cannot do it. And then why? And I show my story. Oh, what is it? Everything is in Burmese. So, oh, I have no idea. What are you talking about? And I try to translate in English, but I have no idea. I cannot find some word. And she helped me through it. And then everything that I write in a sentence, I write in Burmese, and then I translate in English. And one day she told me that, Dawn, it's a waste of time. Why don't you think about first in English? Even if you are wrong, don't worry, we are ready to help you. That words encouraged me to think about in English, how to write in English, and I started in English. Sometimes my sentence is backward and forward, and she looked at the paper and she looked at me, Dawn, you make it. Then she encouraged me how to put the sentence. And then one day she asked me, after I finished the class, one classes, my instructor called me, Dawn, I want you like to speak out about your story, why you enrolled in this program to go to your college, to be able to get your dreams. And I stood up and I don't know. I'm sorry. I have no idea why I'm doing this. And Susie told me that I can have 25 credit. That's why I come here. Do you know what is the credit means? No. And then she looked at me, Dawn, you can do it. But after 2 years, I got 25 credit. And she said, okay, Dawn, you are ready to get your major. You are ready to choose your major. But I have no idea what this major means. And which school do you want to go? And okay, I'm thinking about it. Give me one day. And then the next day I went to the office. I don't know which schools do I need to go. Can you show me the way? And I really found out that all of my advisor, my counselor, they are ready to help me all the time. And then they said, okay, what is your dream? And I want to be a teacher. Like in my country, if we want to be a teacher, just go to the college, get a degree, and we can be a teacher. But here is different. What teacher? Elementary teacher, preschool teacher, high school teacher? And I'm stuck. I want to go home. I don't know what you're talking about, but they give me 1 week. And like at that time, I am dealing with my girl's trauma. And the teacher told me, okay, Dawn, you can do it, the CDA. I don't know what the CDA means. And then I talked with them about the CDA, and then they show me the way. They are ready to show me the way and everything. And then, Dawn, you already have 25 credit from ACE program. Now, if you take the CDA class, you don't need to take so many classes because you already finished most of them. And then I just found out on that day, oh my God, thank you so much for giving me these beautiful people around me to guide me, to show me the way. They opened the door for me. Then I started my CDA degree, and then my teacher said, Dawn, I feel like you're really interested in this CDA program, in this certificate. Yes, this is my first time about early child education. In my country, honestly, when I say that we don't have early child education in my country. So because I was living in like a culture shock, everything is like completely different from my country. So I feel like it's so interesting. And do you want to go to ECE? Do you want to get that degree with ECE? What is ECE means? I have no idea too. And you're gonna need 70 to 75 credit. Credit again, all the time, credit. And then like after I finished my CDA and I continue my with ECE, and then they said, okay, if you finish this ECE associate degree, you can get, you're gonna finish your associate degree and then you can be a teacher. And then, oh my, that way I can be a teacher? Yeah, and then, okay, yes. And then they said, okay, you can become like, you can teach until 3rd grade. But I just want to be a preschool teacher because I feel like when I was in the classroom with the little kids, their innocent face, their innocent eyes, they opened my eyes. Oh, these little kids are so beautiful. And then they encourage me. They they make me forget about my past. They make me to go forward. They make me to get more dreams. So like the credit that I got from ACE program saved me my times when I studied my associate degree. And yeah, I just finished my associate degree last month.
And I'm sure those kids are lucky to have a teacher like you.
I'm so lucky every day. I feel so lucky.
All right. let me ask this group here, and anyone can jump in. What do you think colleges and universities could do better to serve adult learners?
Advertise. I always say, when you go to look at college campuses, you see the faces of incoming freshmen. They're always having these orientations, Be Ready Day, Junior Day, trying to influence and encourage those college freshmen. But my thing is, who's bringing those freshmen to college? It's the parents. Show pictures of people that look like me. You're missing out. I tell them, I said, you're about making money. You're missing out on the money. If it come down to the number, it's the adults that's bringing the students to school. If you start showing pictures of people that look like us, then that'll help people to understand this place is for us too. They need to advertise to the whole family. Because believe me, if a child see the parent succeeding at this institution, they're going to want to follow. You're going to get that whole generation at that institution because you invested in that parent.
And just to add to that,
Go ahead.
I know my experience with Colorado Technical University. For us, it was that Archways to Opportunity program. You know, that's the emblem that's on your bags, right there, right there. I had to be the subject matter expert for 2,500 employees. So for me to share that experience with my staff is why our organization, the Crampy organization in Lafayette, Louisiana, where we operate 44 locations, has the most participants in continuing education in the Dallas region. So does it work? Yes. Not only does it work for continuing education, but how about retention in the business? This is what you're here to provide, that information cascaded down to the businesses. If you have trainings that are college accredited, let us know, and we will ensure that they obtain the credit for their training so they can become promotable. I know you guys, when you got promoted to the next thing, wow, you were elated, right? You told everybody in your family. For me and my children, we prayed for me to get to the next level. And those prayers were answered.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, share with others about the CPO. Advertise
Yep.
that you have that in your institution. I know for CTU, it was helpful for me.
Mhm. Slim, are you gonna?
So I think they should emphasize the online courses, right? Because adult learners, like everybody here on the panel, right? You're working, you have your family, you're cooking dinner. You can't do it in person. So if you emphasize the 100% online, and also if you can have like a success coach that can mentor that adult learner, it's kind of like a peer-to-peer moment to where you have a customized, you have flexibility, you cater to the adult learner, to the classes that they want to take, right? And you have some type of, it's like an advisor, but it's a success coach or success mentor that would help elevate that student so that that student wouldn't drop out. Because you have adult learners that will take class, and then they'll probably, after a semester, maybe two, and then they'll drop out and say, yeah, you know what, it's too much for me. But if you could have that cheerleader that could really push and motivate them, I think that will go a long way as well.
I also think, like Slim just said, keep in mind, success coach is different. We're not trying to have them to take over the spot of the academic advisor. It's just to work hand in hand with the academic advisor and cheer that person on from start to finish. But then also, when I click on your different institutions, I don't need to see all these teenagers, early 20-year-old. Have an adult page. And like Slim said, it needs to be something that's advertising adult online 100%. If you put it in a nice, flashy way, the adults are going to want to do it. And then, therefore, you won't have to hear you all say, oh, I just got this little bit of budget to work with this and that. If you bring us back as adult learners, the institution will be busting through the scenes with more finances for everybody to be able to do what they need to do for the different departments. But I will say, that's what needs to be done. More advertising needs to be done. Can I add one more thing to it? My sister's a product. She was my very first student. I wanted to test to see what being a success coach would look like, helping her create her classes, her schedule, everything. And then I brought on another student last year who was 28 credits. She hadn't been in school since 2007. 28 credits away and never thought that she could graduate. And I'm like, no, you can do this. Let me show you what you can do. I had 2 students graduate. My first 2 students graduated in May of this past year. I went to the university and said, I need you to get grant funding to come back and hire me, give me stipend. I'm telling you, get grant funding, whatever it takes, bring your adult learners back, give them a stipend, because adults need someone to hold their hand, just like Slim said. But I promise you, the success rate of an adult learner returning or coming back to school, adult learner, graduating is 100, almost 100%, because I have a third student coming through and she would say it again. She would not be successful if it had not been for someone holding their hand. Those grants people, it would make a difference.
Definitely.
And talking about finance, Louisiana has come up with the MJ Foster program that helps individuals that may have had a financial setback, or maybe they owe a school $1,500, start with a clean slate. For many of them, that's their fear. I don't want to click that button because I'm afraid this stuff is going to come back up again.
That's right. That's so true.
When life has happened, have children, get married, work on the job 40, 50 hours a week. Again, when they hit that submit button, what's going to happen? Is it going to be horrifying? Or is it going to be gratifying? And we need to do something about making it gratifying for them.
And what about, oh,
Yes,
ahead.
yes. For me, like through my experience, I feel like being a role model to my family is like the best advertising for the education, for the school. Because when I started my education, like I said before, I have no idea what I was doing. But every time when I do my homework, my kids look at me and I don't need to tell them, do your homework. And sometimes they know that I'm struggling to look the best word to write my sentence. And my girls look at me that, Mom, you are a mom, why you go to school? Yes, I feel like I always remember when I enrolled my oldest one, I couldn't speak English. To be able to say the enroll word, just one word, I waited for 1 hour in the office. And when I get home, I talk with my husband and my girls. I feel like I am a living dead person. What if I have a son-in-law, a daughter-in-law in the future? If I cannot communicate with them, so what might look like, what my life look like? So I don't want to be that person. I decided on that day, I don't want to be that person next year. So, like my community, like noticed that, oh, this mom is going school. She's a mom, but she's going school. What is this for? But after I finished, after like I go to my like educations, they notice that, oh, this mom can speak English now. She understands English now. Now she is my translator. Now she's helping in the school. So I feel like this is the best like advertising to get the education, because now when now like in my community, like I have been sharing my knowledge that I learned from the school, because we all are stuck in culture shock. We have no idea what is going on with the kids and with the family. So now like I have been sharing my knowledge and about the school. Now 5 parents start their educations now. And like my girls, my boys, every time they said, Mom, my homeworks, I don't understand my homework. And then I don't need to say anything. Just look at me. You can do it. Even I can do it, So don't complain about anything. Just look at me. You can do it. So I found out for me through my experience. So I feel like it is the best advertising.
Yeah, I mean, what a really great theme, right? Give your adult learners a voice, right? Let them participate because a lot of times they're marginalized on the campus and they graduate and they want to participate in what comes next and bringing in other adult learners. So it's so great that you're all doing that. So I wanted to ask another question just about what advice you would give to adult learners. So, there are many people out here that are advising adult learners, talking to adult learners every day. What kind of advice would you give?
So I realized that a lot of adult learners, there's a lot of excuses, right? So, there's a lot of people that want to go back and then they have the excuse, well, it's probably my family. I can't give the 100% commitment to my job, you know. But we can hear a lot of buts, right? We hear buts from others, but we don't hear the buts within ourselves. And it sets us back. So, I have people at my job that want to advance, want to get a promotion, but they can't because they might have all the personal set of skills, but they don't have the educational, right? So they want to go back, but they have these excuses why they can't go back. But there's a whole bunch of them. There's about over 50, I believe, 50 Fortune 500 companies that have the best tuition assistant program, and Verizon allowed me to utilize that to go to school and to complete my degree, so we would have to tap into those people or those adult learners that want to go back and just give them that extra push, that motivation, and take away that procrastination that they have within themselves that they feel like they can't complete it, but you just have to give them that extra push and let them know that they can do it. Once they realize they can do it and once they're in there, I think they will succeed and attain their goal.
And as the decision makers in the room, we must listen with empathy. We must execute. We must be able to listen so well that we can navigate them through this path. Because that's what it takes. It takes encouragement. I agree with Slim about having a success coach, because that's what I had at CTU. Just a little call, hey, that GPA is doing good, huh? Or maybe they need to call that student that's falling behind. Because we don't want to lose money financially. You don't want to waste the money of the organization that's providing the tuition assistance. You want that to be a successful return on the investment.
Mhm.
And the return on the investment is for them to finish. And when they finish, they're going to be promotable. And if not with the organization, that's okay. They might be promotable elsewhere. And that's still okay. Because you're watching that person grow.
Mm-hmm.
I would, this might be a little side note, but I would ask that you get a group of students, get a group of adult learners, have your university start from somewhere, track that success from start to finish, and see if it's something that's needed in your area. I'm sure it is. You got adults everywhere in America, but if you track them, that will let that university see just how important it is. Track them from start to finish, and I guarantee you'll see a great success rate in the end with having a success coach. The encouragement that I gave to the students that I brought through the program was, the first thing I said was, envision yourself. Envision yourself walking across the stage, how it would feel. I always dig back into For example, I have a chef that just graduated. She's very well known. A lot of people will be surprised of who she is. Very well known. She's been on multiple shows, both locally in Memphis and in other states. And it just so happened her daughter was going to be graduating this spring.
Wow.
And I said, okay, so see what it look, envision what it would look like to graduate on the same day as your daughter. I use whatever I can from their story as motivation. And here she is. She has 3 businesses and she's a full-time chef. I can't get this into my timeline. Same as I told my sister, who was working 10-hour days. It will hurt just a little while, but the reward would be a lifetime. And it is. So that's the motivation I use with the students I've brought through the program. I find something that they can hold on to. And before you know it, like I told them, it goes by in a flash. Be uncomfortable for a moment, but the reward is a lifetime afterwards.
Definitely.
Say one more thing. She did use that. My son, who's a 17-year-old, will be graduating this year as a senior in 2025. And I went, at first I was doing part-time because she kept saying, well, you can graduate with your son. That's in 2025. But I said, you know what? No, I want to graduate before him so he cannot have any reason to say, I can't do this.
Right.
Look what I did. So instead of going part-time, I went and started doing full-time just to make sure I did graduate in 2024. So yes, use something as a pinup. Use yourself as your own poster. Some people look at a magazine and say, I'm going to use this person. Use yourself an example of all the trials and tribulations that you've gone through. If you made it through that, then you'll make it through this. And now I look back and I can't believe it. When she said 2 years is going to fly by, it did. Because I'm now asking myself, was I ever in college? Just like you ask yourself, was I ever young? It goes by quick.
By real quick.
It goes by quick.
And to add to that, so how does earning these degrees help us within our community? For me, I'm now on a foundation board for our local community college, SOLAS CC. My husband and I opened a business, a caregiving business for veterans, hiring caregivers to take care of veterans in rural areas. We're paying it forward by offering a scholarship to that local school for CNAs. This is what the continuing education does.
Mhm.
It opens opportunities not only for ourselves, but for others as well. So just wanted to add that.
Yeah, absolutely. We could keep going at this forever.
Absolutely.
I would love to, but I think that I do want to add to what you were talking about, Charlotta, and just ask some of the others here. You know, when you look back on it, what do you think that this learning has meant to you in your life? What's the thing that?
So for me, I know, you know, being a widow dad for my kids, it made me a role model. It made me an exception at home. It made me proud when I walked across that stage, and I heard my kids shouting my name, you know, and when I tell them all the time, education is the key to life, I mean it, because I set that example. So when they see their dad going out there or studying or coming home straight from work, getting right into them books, they lead by example. You know, they see what I do, you know, and being a role model to others as well, not just to my, you know, to my family and my friends or whatever the case is, but my coworkers. You know, they always come up to me and say, oh, you know, I just got 17 more credits to go, and this is the reason why I didn't do it. But you can do it. You can. And I could show you that you can, because I did it. And you probably don't have 6 kids. You know what I mean? You're not cooking dinner like I am, you know? So, you know, but definitely it's definitely that push and to be a role model to others. Definitely feel it.
Any other final?
Can we ask Miss Nancy what it was like to motivate?
Oh yeah, Nancy, you could tell me. Yes.
What's like? Look, come over here. Come on.
You put Nancy on the spot.
We can hear you.
Unique opportunity. You heard that we're with the Net Health Program, and that serves the telecommunications companies across, companies across the country, and 2 unions. He's a member of CWA and IBEW. So there's a lot of support within that network to continue your education. But it's still a huge organization to navigate. And as you heard, he lost his wife and he has 6 beautiful children. The program was built on another program that started on site. As Slim indicates, our program is online. And he was having a problem with his transfer credit and his prior learning credit.
Oh.
And one of our advisors said, Nancy, this is a new student, and I think maybe you should meet him. Please, but I said, that's on the way. And the program I was working out of Westchester. And he said, well, I'm going to be at Queensborough Community College giving a little talk. I said, oh, I can get right off the bridge and I'll stop and meet you. So that's
Yep.
how we met.
Yeah, that's just-
In addition, youngest child with him and said, my brother's coming to listen to my presentation. I said, yes, could you hold my baby?
That's.
Odd request.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
And thank you, man. Thank you.
Just one beautiful story, right?
I put it right to work as soon as I met her.
Any final comments? We're running up on time, but
Have a adult learning, when you do try to get this organization together, if you already have it together, have an adult learners cohort group where they can hold each other accountable. So they can do something like what Sim just said. Another parent can help another parent. If you got this test, oh, I don't have a test on this day. Let me help you with your children. Oh, let me bring snacks for your children. Anything to keep each other going. Don't just wait for it to get to the master program. Do it, period. I think it will help. Matter of fact, I know it will help.
great.
Um, my advice is as an adult learner, my advice is that like, even if you are struggling in financially, they are ready to help.
Mhm.
There are so many schools. As long as you have a dream, we have a way. We always can find a way. Like when I started my career at teaching the preschool, and I see myself through them because I show them like how to hold a pencil. I show them like hold your pencil, pinch and rest. That way you can write. And I see myself because when I started my educations, they give me a computer. I don't know what to do. I don't know what is a Microsoft Word. I don't know what is the Excel. I have no idea. So like when I started my education, I feel like I'm a preschool. I am a preschooler and a kindergarten. So as long as if you have a dream, even if you are adult, you can go it. Don't find excuse. You don't find excuse. We can find so many excuse, but I never find any excuse. And I never look at next week, next year. I only look today and tomorrow. Today, I will do my best. If I can wake up tomorrow, I will do my best. So as adult learner, yes. So you can go forward, even if you are struggling in financially, they are ready to open a way for you. And if you don't know, like me, like if when I started my education, like I said before, I have no idea what to take the class, but they are ready to give us advice and to show a way in financially and in academically. So that is my advice to as an adult learner.
Great. Thank you to all of you. Really appreciate it, Don, Charlotta, Lois, Joyce, and Slim. Fantastic stories. Of course, they're here at the conference, so you can continue to ask them questions because they're obviously experts. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you. Take a picture. Look, John, we're gonna take a picture right.
You can take a picture of us?
Have a seat.